Hello, this is Epic Adventure Core, and I'm here to talk about the season 3 premiere on April 31st. I have not made a review yet on Game of Thrones, but I love Game of Thrones. I've watched it since 2011, and to all the TV show viewers, this is for you. Um, but I have read the books, and so I know what's gonna happen, but I'm gonna keep that out as much as I can, and it's not gonna be like your normal review where you're wondering on what's gonna happen, but it's gonna more discuss some things and how the TV show plays out the things, which I find quite interesting, and think would be interesting as a TV show watcher. Now, this episode is called Valar Dohaeris, and it's kind of a sequel to the season finale of 2, which was Valar Morghulis, which is more famous. And Valar Morghulis is all men must die in High Valyrian, which was the empire in the east. Which control dragons and Daenerys is descended from. And I think Valar Morghulis is a great thing because the thing of Arya and all men must die, but it also with Corin, and it kind of alludes to the White Walkers because they're not dead. So I love Game of Thrones episode choices because they, I think, mean different things, or at least this is what. So Valar Dohaeris is the sequel and the response, which is all men must serve. Now, I don't really know what it means, but I kind of think of it as meaning, we're all gonna die, but you have to serve and do your duty, as Dennis says in the trailer. But Valar Dohaeris, I kind of think for a few things that they might be referring to. So, the Unsullied, those super soldiers, because they're obviously slaves, and Daenerys is just like, but also maybe Jon's having to serve the wildlings to get the trust, and Tyrion being in a more humbled position. So, yeah, I don't know. I take it in things, but yeah, that's the thing on the title. Now, may as well. I'm gonna take it from either side, the far ends of the world, and in. So I'm gonna start with Sam, which is very short. Sam is, I have no idea how he's saved by the White Walker that clearly saw him, but suppose somehow he escaped, survived, and the White Walkers did not get him, though one was close, and Ghost is now with the Night's Watch, which is kind of weird, but fine because he was on his own, and he was just helping them out. But no, okay, I think that's Ghost at least. And Sam forgot to let out a raven, so they have to go back. Nice job, Sam. Nice one. You're gonna have to do a lot to redeem yourself now, or few, I don't know how far, but tens, maybe hundreds of miles, tens of miles north, and with no one knowing what the heck we're up here doing. So yeah, that was kind of not good on Sam's part. But I think I don't know who it was. Oh, John Bradley, the actor, who said Sam is one of the braver characters, and I believe that, and I hope to see that because Sam is a more important character because of his because John's no longer with the Night's Watch, so Sam has to take over. And Night's Watch is not in a great position, I'll say, when you have a zombie army following you. And since we're in the north, I'm going to talk about John, though it's kind of in a different area. John is preparing for war. Now, the wildlings have the biggest army, I believe, besides maybe the White Walkers. They have the biggest army. It's smaller. It's the biggest army, but they don't have iron or steel or anything, and they're it doesn't just include men. It includes the women and the children. So when they say 400,000, it's not. So I think knights of 20,000 could defeat them, probably. Though they have giants, and I didn't even realize that giant was real until I really saw it, and I was like, oh, whoa, okay. That, and then I'm gonna talk about Mance. I love Kieran Hines. I think he's a great actor. I loved him in Rome. Everyone should watch that. Who's hearing this? It's also on HBO. It wasn't prolonged enough, but it was great. He was Julius Caesar, and he played a good Julius Caesar, and one that I think portrays him very well. Gets the good and bad sides of him, and I'm very happy he was Mance. I'm kind of surprised, but I liked it. And it's interesting because John is kind of conflicted because he has this strong sense of loyalty, but I'm not sure. I think he's going to have to decide if he's a crow or a wildling. There's some very appealing parts of the wildling thing, and he's going to have to decide. One, sex, but also the freedom to do, order and just to choose who you are, which John has not experienced. But John was a little rocky until he kind of told this true in where there's some conflict. Because there is some conflict between John and the Night's Watch. So he had to say that. And okay, so I think I'm done with the North, and then so I want to talk about Daenerys. Daenerys, I hate her season 2. It's just like walking through cars doing nothing really. But I think this season's a good season, has a good start. Army. Maybe it's hard to say how she'll pay for it. Maybe she'll use her dragons probably some way to get the gold. But because that's all she really has. She did get some stuff from the Zeros on Dark Sauce or whatever. No, I'm joking. Doxis or something. I forget his name. His name's hard. But she is having a lot, but what I love about Dany's character, I'm sorry, is that she always firmly believes in these certain morals, and just because she's a leader and a powerful leader doesn't make her want to compromise these morals, which a lot of people in our world compromise their beliefs. Dany does not, and so with the slaves, she obviously knows how to be sold into slavery. She does not compromise with this. And I think Jorah's kind of condescending. He's like, "Oh, you have such a sweet heart," thinking. But no, I'd be like, "Fuck you," I'm Khaleesi. I'm queen, and I don't think slaves are thing, and I'll vote for believing in that. And nipple scene, not fully necessary. I think that goes for itself.